Hi everyone. Apple co-founder and CEO Steve Jobs died today, and when I found out, I was headed to the gym. I just stopped everything because Steve Jobs is a special man. He has, from the age of 21, worked to build a company that has effectively changed our lives, changed how we consume information. From the first Macintosh to the iPad to the iPhone, and wow, all the operating systems, even products that just didn't work well, like Lisa, the first iMac, the second iMac worked really well. Steve Jobs was the first person in tech to bring together design and technology to such a level that it made us think about how we design our space with respect to a computer. That was not done before. But that aside, you know what I like about Steve Jobs? He took all of the stuff that I grew up with in fantasy, the communicator from Star Trek and the little screens that were in the briefing room, and he made that reality. He brought the future we saw in the 60s and made it the reality of the second decade and the first decade of the 21st century. That is amazing. Through the force of his will, he wasn't this stupendous programmer or anything. I met Steve Jobs in 1986 in February, and he was at Cafe Roma, now called Cafe Strada, on the corner of Bancroft and College, dressed all in black. And I said, "Excuse me, are you Steve Jobs?" And he turned around and he said, "Oh, that's what they say." And logically probably expected a little bit more substance from me in terms of what I was getting at to talk with him about. But I said, "Hey, great, it's great to see you." And he goes, "Thanks." But what else do you say, right? The bottom line is Steve Jobs is the embodiment of how the Bay Area encourages people to start their own businesses, to follow their path, be it in the nonprofit world, or technology, or advertising. This is the place for entrepreneurs. This is the place that births companies that change society and change the world. And Steve Jobs is the epitome of what the Bay Area is all about. Man, I'm going to miss him. Unbelievable. Anyway, I had to go over to the Apple store in Stockton, San Francisco, and talk to people, and in other places I go to. And well, here's what happened. Oh. Sorry.
Şurada görüyor musunuz? Sarı var ya, Pancreatic'in sarı. That's right.
About a minute. Very sad. I'm at the Apple store on Stockton and Union Square for what has turned into a vigil for Steve Jobs, who's passed away. Over here. It's a very sad day. Very sad day. I actually thought he was going to beat this thing called pancreatic cancer that got my stepbrother-in-law and a number of other people too. He fought it for a long time. He fought a incredible battle, and well, at 56 years old, passed away. So I had to stop everything that I was doing and come and pay honor to Steve Jobs. Thoughts about Steve Jobs?
Well, I guess it's so sad. I don't know why, but I feel so sad because he changed our world more than most people who are in the history pages in the elementary schools, and he will not be. And these kind of people deserve to be there more than the politicians or the militaries. Thank you.
Thank you. Your thoughts about Steve Jobs?
Well, he was an inspiration to us all. I believe I'm a programmer myself, and he really led the way, I think. Stay hungry, stay foolish is what he would say. And that really spoke to me and other programmers I know here. But we're all out to build something. We're all out to change the world, right?
Right.
So
I started my company, and yeah. That's right.
Exactly. So you relate to it as well. And I mean, he's one of those that cannot be replaced. I don't believe so. If he can, it's 50 years from now.
Yeah.
And such a Bay Area icon.
Yes.
And I mean, right there on all the products designed by Apple in California, I think says it all. It really put us on the map there. And to take such a global brand and to really make it ubiquitous is one thing. I mean, Microsoft did that.
Right.
But to really have the influence that it does all over the world is quite extraordinary.
Incredible. He actually ushered in the marriage of design and technology, you know? That's what, it's incredible.
Exactly. I mean, before the Apple Store took off, for example, most electronic stores were like Radio Shack. They were as exciting to go into as Radio Shack, you know? And,
right.
you know, I also used to study industrial design too, back when the first iMac came out. And it was just kind of validation to what we were doing. Like, look what we can do with design. Exactly. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
He will be missed. His legend will live on forever.
Definitely. Thank you. Oriole here, your thoughts about Steve Jobs?
I think we're all going to miss him. I think he made the world a much better place, and you know, I think it's a really sad day because this happened much too soon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's just a very sad day. I think Steve Jobs was just an icon, a legend. The world's a sadder place today.
And part of family because, you know, we all go to these events.
Yeah, well, I never met him, but
we're all
in the tech
orbit.
world, right?
That's what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah, no, it's
sad day.
A very sad day.
Hey, thanks a lot. Thoughts about Steve Jobs?
I'm an inventor, and I've thought of him as an inventor, and he's invented so many good things, and I'm going to do whatever I can to try and bring some sense of his striving for quality, and bring that to the world in my own ways as well, and in honor of him.
Thank you. Gold's Gym and Carol, what are your thoughts about Steve Jobs?
I just heard that he died, and you know, they were talking about stocks plummeting and just people. I mean, you know, they were doing an interview with Sarah Palin on the news. All of a sudden, you know, she was talking about how she's not going to run for president.
Right.
So all of a sudden, it was like breaking news. And it was just like one last fuck you he did to Sarah Palin. It was great. So it was, yeah. And you know, I don't have an iPad. I don't have an iPhone. I barely have an iPod. It's this little teeny tiny thing right here, but it keeps me busy at work late at night. So.
iPhone.
Yay.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Lane Splitter in Oakland also talking about the passing of Steve Jobs. What do you think?
I fucking hate Apple products, but my regards to his family and my condolences. This one's for you, Steve.
Yeah. Hey, what say you?
I say, down with the Fed, you know, Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, fuck the rich, eat the rich, eat the rich.
Well, he started off as an entrepreneur like you. He was like, 21 when he started Apple.
Then he sold out.
No, he didn't.
Hey, he wasn't out here making pizzas, sweating.
He quit school. He quit school. There you go. Great pizzas.
See, I'm making pizzas to not quit school. That's why.
Follow your dream. What's your dream?
My dream?
Yeah.
It's world peace.
Okay. But what's your dream for yourself, though? I mean, what's your passion?
World peace.
World peace.
World peace starts with me.
Follow your dream.
There you go. I'm trying to.
Oh, right. So there you have it, folks. Lane Splitter on Lake Park Avenue. Great pizza, great people. Always tell you exactly what's on their mind.
That's right.
Big up yourself.
Thanks, man.